الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. أما بعد, our book we are studying is Al-Farq Bayna An-Naseehah wa the difference between good advice and empty insult, between insulting a Muslim and advising him. There are big differences between the two. An-Naseehah could even be wajibah, compulsory, but at-tahyir is haram. An-Naseehah could be manduba, mustahabba, could be encouraged, and it could be compulsory, wajibah. But as for at-tahyir, it is haram. It is not lawful to insult and abuse a Muslim, especially using his faults to abuse him. The man is tall, you use his tallness to abuse him. The man is short, you use his shortness to abuse him. So all these are things people abuse people with. The man is not good at speech, you use it to abuse him, like Fir'aun did to Musa alayhi salam. Ana khayrun min hadha alladhi huwa mahin wa la yakadu yubin. This is at-ta'yir. Fir'aun said, ana khayr. Am I the one that is better? Or this one who is mahin, lowly? You know the family of Musa alayhi salam, they were Banu Israel. In Egypt at the time, they were oppressed. So he referred to Musa as Mahin. Wala yakadu yubin. He can't even hardly only express himself. He can't even clear himself when he speaks. He can't even speak clearly. This is called what? At-Ta'id. It is common from people. What's this? So it now comes also in the path of knowledge. So Ibn Rajab wrote a book on that. Because sometimes people of knowledge, they will be making ta'ir of another person of knowledge. They will say, no, it is Naseehah. He should take it like that. There is difference between Naseehah and ta'ir. Ibn Rajab said, rahimahullah, he said, فَإِلَمْ أَنَّ ذِكْرَ الْإِنسَانِ بِمَا يَكْرَهُ مُحَرَّمٌ. Mentioning the faults of a person, or mentioning a person with something that, if you mention it about him, he would not like it. To be doing that is haram. It is prohibited. إِذَا كَانَ الْمَقْصُودُ مِنْهُ مُجَرَّدَ الذَّنْبِ. If the intention is just to make them, to disgrace the person, well-aiz, to popularize his faults, find faults with him, وَالتَّنَقُّص, and mentioning his defects. If the intention is just this, it is haram. He just wants to show them, that's just the intention. It's haram. He said, rahimahullah, فَأَمَّا إِنْ كَانَ فِيهِ مَصْلَحَةٌ لِعَامَةِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ خَاصَّةً لِبَعْدِهِمْ وَكَانَ الْمَقْصُودُ مِنْهُ تَحْصِيلَ تِلْكَ الْمَصْلَحَةِ فَلَيْسَ بِمُحَرَّمٍ. He said, rahimahullah, إِنْ كَانَ فِي ذَلِكَ مَصْلَحَةٌ لِعَامَةِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. If mentioning that fault has benefit for the generality of the Muslims, such as when a learned person makes a mistake in a matter of knowledge. Yeah, and there is no learned person, I always say, just mention his name. Just any learned person, anybody, in the past or today, people will mention his mistakes. He made a mistake here, he made a mistake here. Recently, I was listening to one of our very learned brothers, inshallah. He was insisting that some of the people, even in the basic Arabic language, it is not strong. And then they put themselves in the position of people who want to guide the whole of the ummah. Even the basics they don't know. Wallahi, the next statement he will make was a mistake in Lugha. What he's saying is correct. But Allah wants to make us understand, ikhwah, that someone will not make a mistake. It is left for the Prophet Muhammad alone. He is correcting them, saying, you have not reached the stage. Even basic Lugha you don't know. He himself, the next statement he made was a mistake in Lugha. So if the intention to correct people like this is just to disgrace them, it's just to mention, look at them, they are the ones correcting us, look at them. If that is the intention, it is haram. That is called what? At-Tibyān. It's using that mistake as a means of insult for him. But if the intention is just to show that this thing was a mistake, then it is called what? An-Naseehah. No intention to bring down the person. No intention to abuse the person. But just to show that there's a mistake here. It needs to be corrected. In fact, some mistakes don't need to be corrected because it is clear that it's a mistake. In this book, you will see it now. We will read it now, inshallah. On the page we hope to read today, you will see two mistakes there by the person who did tahqiq of this book. Two mistakes. He did not intend any of the mistakes. In fact, one of them is a mistake regarding a verse of the Quran. So when I read it today, I just smiled. Subhanallah. So everybody has a mistake. For you who want to correct his mistake, what is your intention? If your intention is mujarradu at-tanqusi wa-ta'yib wa-zam, it is haram. If your intention is li-maslahatin aw nasihatan lil-ummati, type, he said, rahimahullah, فَلَيْسَ بِمُحَرَّمٍ. It is not haram in that kind of a circumstance. بَلْ مَنْدُوبٌ إِلَيْهِ. In fact, it is something that we are all encouraged to do. The last paragraph on page 13, I think that was where we got to go. It says, وَهَذَا كُلُّهُ فِي حَقِّ الْعُلَمَةِ. All of what we have been talking about, that someone makes a mistake, if we want to correct him, we'll correct him well, we'll give Naseehah, we mention the fault, and he gave a lot of examples from the big learned persons who made mistakes and big learned persons who were correcting people's mistakes. He's saying to correct mistakes is not wrong. He gave a lot of examples as we read ahead. He now said, rahimahullah, وَهَذَا كُلُّهُ فِي حَقِّ الْعُلَمَاءِ الْمُقْتَدَى بِهِمْ فِي الدِّينِ. All of what we have been talking about in terms of being careful, being knowledge-based, and not to insult, not to abuse, not to show faults, not to use the fault to abuse the person. He says, "Fi haqqil ulama." It is about those who are truly scholars. If a truly learned person makes a mistake, and then you correct him, this is what we are talking about. It says, فَأَمَّا أَهْلُ الْبِدَعِ وَالضَّلَالَةِ. As for the people of bid'ah, innovations, وَالضَّلَالَةِ, and misguidance, وَمَنْ تَشَبَّهَ بِالْعُلَمَاءِ وَلَيْسَ مِنْهُمْ. And the one who is behaving like the scholars, and the truth is that he is not part of them, these kinds of people, فَيَجُوزُ بَيَانُ جَهْلِهِمْ, it is lawful to explain that they are ignorant people. مَنْ تَشَبَّهَ بِالْعُلَمَاءِ وَلَيْسَ, is behaving like the scholars, but it's not like them. It's not from them. So when these kinds of people make silly mistakes, you should mention it. The reason you are making this mistake is that you are behaving like Al-Albani and you are not Al-Albani. You are behaving like Shaykh Rabi al-Madkhali and you are not Rabi al-Madkhali. You are behaving like Shaykh Fawzan, Ibn Abdullah al-Fawzan, and you are not Shaykh Fawzan. The job that very learned elderly scholars should be doing in the Ummah, you want to be doing it, and it is not your job. One common thing about that was a statement by Imām Yahya ibn Ma'in, rahimahullah. He says, "Inna lil-ilmi shababan, inna lil-ilmi shababan, yantaqiduna al-ilm." Knowledge has young people who are new on it. They have just come. They've not spent enough time. They've not even understood the to and fro of knowledge. Inna lil-ilmi shababa. Al-Imam Yahya ibn Ma'in was from the scholars during the times of Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Abu Zakaria says, Inna lil-ilmi shababa. Knowledge has people who are young on it. Once I said, they just came upon the path of knowledge. They are just listening to internet, radio, caught 2 minutes fatwa, 10 seconds fatwa by Shaykh Fawzan. Yes, Shaykh Fawzan's fatwa doesn't pass 10 seconds. And then when it says, nah, you know the meaning? Next question. Shaykh Saleh Fawzan, Fawzanko. So the young man thinks that 10 seconds, he has heard everything. Not like that. Inna lil-ilmi shababa. Knowledge has young people. They are new on it. They are young on it. They've not gotten much of it. Yantaqidun al-ilm. That small one, they just came yesterday. They use it to oppose knowledge itself. You just came. Like the young boy who just got into a university. What do they call them? Jamba school? Freshers. Freshers told professor that he does not know how to teach. Fresher told professor he does not know how to teach. How is that? He said, Inna lil-ilmi shababa yantaqidun al-ilm. They come and be criticizing knowledge itself. So that's why those young people, they just start. So they criticize this and they criticize. So at the end of the day, they say, throughout this country, Nigeria, there is no scholar upon Sunnah. Type, where did you learn from? You. Who taught you? If there is no scholar of Sunnah in Nigeria, you who is talking, who taught you? Who are you? So Imam Yahya ibn Ma'in said, rahimahullah, Inna lil-ilmi shababa yantaqiduna al-ilm. So Ibn Rajab said, rahimahullah, فَأَمَّا أَهْلُ الْبِدَعِ وَالضَّلَالَةِ. As for the people of bid'ah and misguidance, وَمَنْ تَشَبَّهَ بِالْعُلَمَاءِ وَلَيْسَ مِنْهُمْ. And the ones behaving like the scholars, when the truth is that he is not part of them. Today he started learning Durusul Lugha, لِغَيْرِ نَاتِقِينَ. Today he became a scholar of Al-Jarh wa Ta'dil. Today. Let's hear what Shaykh Fawzan himself said, rahimahullah. Shaykh Salih ibn Abdullah al-Fawzan is one of the oldest scholars of Sunnah today. Go. He said, rahimahullah, he says, Al-ilmu laysa bihadhihi suhula. Al-ilmu laysa bihadhihi suhula. Knowledge is not easy like that. This is my 10-second fatwa. Knowledge is not like that. The fatwa is just to guide one particular person or two or three, like that original person who has that original question. But some people think once you hear those 10 seconds, 15 seconds fatwa, over. You have known it all. La. Al-ilmu laysa bihadihi as-suhula. He said, rahimahullah, innahu yahtaju ila waqtin. Knowledge needs a lot of time. Wallahi, young people, knowledge needs time. Innahu yahtaju ila waqtin wa yahtaju ila ulama. Knowledge needs a lot of time. Knowledge needs you that you sit with ulama. Sit down with ulama, be learning, be looking, be listening. Keep quiet, shut up, and be listening and be keeping quiet, learning. He says, rahimahullah, تَتَلَقَّى فَهْمَ الْعِلْمِ الْمَطْلُوبِ. You will learn from these scholars. You take from them an understanding of the knowledge that is required of you. Knowledge requires you to give your time, look for scholars, and then take from them the knowledge that you need. He said, rahimahullah, وَهَذَا يَحْتَاجُ إِلَى مُعَانَاتٍ. This necessitates a lot of challenges. Scholars and time. Sit down with scholars every day, listening, learning, writing, noting, keeping quiet, watching, observing, asking, finding out, researching with scholars. It needs a lot of time. What suffering. It also needs a lot of what? Patience. Patience how? Upon the path of knowledge there is usually difficulty. Sometimes hunger. Sometimes no water. Sometimes. Sometimes trekking. I remember that myself and Abu Sakina, even here today, he used to hide. He used to go and stay inside there. Once you remember the year if I say this thing. We trekked from Tudun Nupawa to Ugwarimi. Anybody who knows Kaduna very well. We trekked from Tudun Nupawa in my house. We trekked to Ugwarimi. We were going to meet a scholar there to learn. We trekked to, we trekked fro. From Tudun Nupawa, from specifically Fire Service Junction. That's my junction, that's that. We trekked to Ugwarimi with our 2 legs. No money to join transport. So we trekked through, we trekked fro. We were going to learn from one scholar there at that time. So when we were coming back, we started deliberating that if we start these classes, to be trekking to Ngwarimi from Tudun Nupawa, to and fro every day, it will be difficult to. We said we will do it. Is it not knowledge? We will do it, inshallah. So when we were coming back, we were really tired. We used to stop, we drink ice water, we continue again. So even that first day, we were exhausted. So the 2 of us started saying, we need a means of moving. We started saying, should we buy a bicycle? I said, bicycle, even to be riding like this, is trouble. An example I can give is of that kind of a journey was from this place to the end of Owode, from here to the end to Matrix in Owode. How is that? To and fro. We want to be going to learn, go, come back every day. So when we are coming back, it was clear to us that this thing will be difficult. And we want to be learning there. So we started thinking, how are we going to be going and coming? So we said, should we be using bicycle? We say, bicycle itself is trouble because in the north, bicycle is common. Keke can be riding bicycle. Jeje, put our books at the back. One of us is riding the other. So I said that one will be difficult too. Our legs will be paining us. So he said, should we buy Okada, Achaba, motorcycle? I said, I don't like motorcycle. The breeze of the motorcycle, all my clothes, I always wear white that time. All my clothes, my jalabia, if you drive motorcycle to and fro, the whole jalabia will be changing color fast. That was when we now said, let us buy a car. If we look for a small car, we can be using it to go to Ngwarimi and come back. That was where I started thinking about buying first car for my life. So I said, we were saying to ourselves, so how are we going to get the money? He said to me that Allah will give us the money. He's here. I said to Ami, Wallahi, Allah gave us the money. It didn't take up to a month. We bought a car. I bought a Camry, full AC, tapping glass. That was how we used to call the vehicle that time. The intention, what brought about that car is that we want to be using it to go and learn. So knowledge requires exertion, mu'anat. You exert yourself. You put energy into it. Sometimes, to even all those times, we may eat, we may not eat. Our concern is that we must not miss our classes. We can eat food, we cannot eat, but we will not miss class. We have a class we used to do that time with one of our teachers. That class starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. Wallahi, if you come 7:01, they will send you away. 7:01. You touch the door like this. Babu, no class. So usually after Fajr, we go to the class. We will not go out of the class until sometimes after Asr. So you ask me, what did we eat back? That's what I'm talking about. It is that after Asr, we now start looking for something to eat. He has one woman that time. Let me stop here. Abu Sakina's customer. He used to buy akara and bread from the woman every night. Bread and akara. He will put the akara inside the bread like a burger. So what I'm saying is that knowledge needs that you sacrifice. You put effort. It's not AC food. No, you can get that one if Allah gives you the opportunity. But sometimes it does not come easily like that. So now you do all these things, over time with scholars, and the knowledge will start coming. How much of this did Musa do, alayhi salatu wasalam, to meet Khadir? This one is small. Go and look at the story of Musa and Khadir. That is the asul in Ar-Rihlatu fi Talab al-Ilm. The qissa of Musa and who? Khadir. How many journeys did you think Musa made in that journey? Did Musa get everything he wanted? Did he not suffer a little bit with Khadir? And with his student Yusha, who went with him? To and fro the journey. Allah told us the story. Lengthy story is the story of Talabul Ilm. And with sabr upon the challenges of learning knowledge. The Shaykh Fawzan said, Rahimahullah, وَهَذَا يَحْتَاجُ إِلَى مُعَانَةٍ وَالصَّبْرٍ. This matter needs that you will face challenges and you will be patient. وَلَا يَعْنِي أَن تَدَّعِيَ الْعِلْمِ. It does not matter. It does not mean anything. أَن تَدَّعِيَ الْعِلْمَ بِمُجَرَّدِ سَمَائِكَ لِشَرِيطٍ. It does not amount to anything. أَن تَدَّعِيَ الْعِلْمَ. That you begin to claim, I'm now scholar of Jarh wa Ta'deel. How? Just because بِمُجَرَّدِ سَمَائِكَ لِشَرِيطٍ. Because he started listening to the cases of Shaykh Fawzan. I listened to all his cases. You have not reached to. I listened to his cases on this. You have not. Mujarrad is-sama'i li-sharit. Just that. Aw qira'atika li kitabin ma. Or because you read one book by Shaykh Rabi al-Madkhali. It has not turned you to Shaykh of Al-Jarh wa Ta'deel. It has not brought you to that stage. وَلَا يَعْنِي أَنَّكَ صِرْتَ عَالِمًا. That you listen to cassette or that you read one book on Al-Jarh wa Ta'deel from Shaykh Abdus Salam Barjis or Manhaju Da'wati al-Anbiya by Shaykh Rabi al-Madkhali, or all these small rasail and kutayibat that our younger ones are reading today. They stand up after they sleep the next morning and say that they are scholars of Al-Jarh wa Ta'dil. Knowledge is not like that. Shaykh Fawzan says it's not like that. It's not like that at all. He says, La ya'ni hadha annaka sirta aliman. This does not mean that you have immediately turned to a scholar. La yajuzu hadha. Shaykh Fawzan said, this is not lawful for you to be thinking like that. Bal inna hadha yadurru al-ummah wa yadurru al-insana nafsahu. In fact, because you listen to one cassette, one audio, you read one book, you turn yourself to scholar of Al-Jarh wa Ta'dil. Yadurruka. It will cause harm to you yourself. And in fact, he said, Rahimahullah, Yadurrul Ummah. It is going to cause harm to the entirety of the Muslim community. How? You will be abusing and insulting the scholars of the people. You will be telling the people not to take knowledge from their scholars. You will be speaking on behalf of the Ummah when you are nothing. So that was why he said, Rahimahullah, Inna hadha yadurrul ummah. You will use this, your useless approach, to bring harm to the ummah. Wa yadurrul insana nafsahu. It will also bring harm to you yourself. Wa yansha'u jilun. A group of people will begin to arise from this kind of a behavior. Yatala'abuna bi kitabillahi wa sunnati rasulihi. They will be playing and joking with the Quran and the Sunnah of the Messenger. They begin to take the Quran and the Sunnah like a play. Why? They did not pay attention to learning. They did not give time to learning. They did not learn from scholars. They say their scholars are in London and UK. Like them. They are scholars like them. So this kind of approach to knowledge is bad. If you want to refute these kinds of people, Ibn Rajab says, Rahimahullah, فَأَمَّا أَهْلُ الْبِدَعِ وَالضَّلَالَ وَمَنْ تَشَبَّهَ بِالْعُلَمَاءِ وَلَيْسَ مِنْهُمْ فَيَجُوزُ بَيَانُ جَهْلِهِمْ. If you want to give nasiha to these kinds of people, expose their ignorance to them. Make their ignorance to be clear. The first one, who is a learned person, when you want to give nasiha, you just tell him the mistake. You just explain the mistake to, no insult. But these people, if you are explaining their mistakes to them, yajuzu bayanu jahlihim. It is necessary to make the people know that these people, they are what? They are ignorant people. Wa idharu uyubihim. It is allowed for you to be making the people to know their uyub, their faults. They are disrespectful at home. Most of them, their parents have thrown them out of their homes, because they have also given tabdi and takfir to their parents. Most of them cannot read Quran correctly. I tell you this, most of them, the Arabic is bad. Some of them don't even have Tafsir ibn Kathir at home. Tafsir ibn Kathir. The closest book to Talib al-Ilm they don't have. Some of them have not seen like this as a book before Sahih al-Bukhari. Not to say learn it. Bukhari is far. Some don't even know Nawawiyah, Arba'un al-Nawawiyah. He is the Shaykh of Al-Jarh wa Ta'dil. This one, Muftari, this one, this one, that. And he wants the whole Ummah to follow him. Ibn Rajab said, Rahimahullah, فَيَجُوزُ بَيَانُ جَهْلِهِمْ. These kinds of group of young people living inside one small box, it is necessary for you to explain their ignorance. وَإِظْهَارُ عُيُوبِهِمْ. It is necessary from Naseehah to the Ummah to make them know that they are young children, shabab, يَنْتَقِدُونَ الْعِلْمِ. Young little people who are new upon the path of knowledge. They are now criticizing knowledge itself. نسأل الله السلامة تحذيرا min al-iqtida'i bihim, by way of warning the people not to be like them. So when some people will bring their name, put X like this, red, people say, is it ta'ir or this is Naseehah now? Tahziran min al-iqtida'i bihim. We want to warn other people so that they don't behave like this shabab. Alladhina yantaqiduna al-ilm. Young people criticizing knowledge. Young people, new, fresh. Now criticize knowledge itself. May Allah protect us from that evil. Ibn Rajab says, rahimahullah, وَلَيْسَ كَلَامُنَا الْآنَ فِي هَذَا الْقَدِيمِ. What I want to explain is not about these groups of people. Ahlul Bid'ah. The same thing the people of Bid'ah. When you are giving them rod, give them rod ma bayani jahlihim. Somebody says it is Nu'amin Kela who was inside the cave with the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. When the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam was making hijrah. I always say to people, Al-Imām Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he always tells us, don't worry yourself if you want to refute a person of bid'ah. Just listen to what he's saying. Inside his statement, you will see his rod there. If you say it is Nu'amin Kela, who were with the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, or Odinga, or Isaac Newton, who was with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, inside the grave, just ask him one question. Were you there? How will he answer? How will he answer? Ask him, were you there that time, that day, in the grave with them? What will he say? We know that he was not there. He knows the next question. But this question, if it's sensible, he will know the next question we want to ask him. Were you there? He will say no. So how do you know who was there? Were you there? He will say no. Come and say, change over. He will say, I wasn't there. So how did you know who was there? Okay, tell us the person that you know who was there. Who told you that it is Nu'amin Kela or Isaac Newton or Rutherford or Galileo Galilei who was there? Tell us who you know who was there. Who told you who was there? But as for us, the companions radiyallahu anhum, they were alive during that time. They told us that it was who? Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Do we have hujjah or not? Why? Those who told us, they were there alive at that time. They were the ones that the Prophet and Abu Bakr as-Siddiq were going to meet. They told us that it was Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and the Prophet. And Allah gave us an ishara in the Quran. Sign his name. إِذْ هُمَا فِي الْغَارِ إِذْ قَالَ لِصَاحِبِهِ لَا تَحْزَنْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَنَا. That person who told you that it was not Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, that Allah is saying here, tell us his name. He said you did research. When you did that research, somebody must have said it. So people of innovations and inhiraf like this, when you make rad to them, yajuzu bayanu jahlihim, it is lawful for you to explain their ignorance. This person is an ignorant person, don't mind him. وَإِظْهَارُ عُيُوبِهِمْ, it is lawful to explain their uyub, their faults, their inadequacies. تَحْذِيرًا مِنَ الْإِقْتِدَاءِ بِهِمْ, so that it's a means of warning so that people do not follow them. People do not follow them, begin to say it was Nu'amin Kela, like this. So the approach in terms of a rad to al-mubtadi'ah or shabab al-ilm, young people who are just new upon the path of knowledge, أو الذين يتشبهون بالعلماء وليسوا منهم, or those people who behave like scholars and they are not like them. They are not even from Tulabul Ilm. They've not even started learning anything. Why did I say that? Because they say there is no learned person, there is no scholar. So if you say there is no scholar of Sunnah, have you started learning? Let's take that logic again. There is no scholar of Sunnah anywhere. Go? Fine. In Nigeria. Have you started learning? What is your answer? No. If your answer is no, if you have not started learning, then you don't deserve a response from us. Ablagul jawab we have for you is to keep quiet. Arabs say, إِذَا ابْتُلِيتَ بِخُصْمِ اللَّهِ خَلَقَ لَهُ فَكُنْ كَأَنَّكَ لَمْ تَسْمَعْ وَلَمْ يَقُلْ. Behave as if you didn't hear what he said. But if the answer is that he has started learning, asking, who are you learning from? A person of Sunnah or a person of Bid'ah? So for the sake of Allah, these kinds of people, Ibn Rajab said, يَجُوزُ بَيَانُ جَهْلِهِمْ وَإِظْهَارُ عُيُوبِهِمْ تَحْذِيرًا مِنَ الْإِقْتِدَاءِ بِهِمْ وَلَيْسَ كَلَامُنَا الْآنِ فِي هَذَا الْقَبِيلِ. What I want to discuss is not about this group of people. So let us move to the next issue. He said, Rahimahullah, that's on page 14 now. Go. Upon the print that we have, with the tahqiq of Shaykh Ali Hassan Abdul Hamid Al-Halabi, Rahimahullah. He said, وَمَنْ عُرِفَ مِنْهُ أَنَّهُ أَرَادَ بِرَدِّهِ على العلماء النصيحة لله ورسوله فإنه يجب أن يعامل بالإكرام والاحترام والتعظيم كسائر أئمة المسلمين الذين سبق ذكرهم وأمثالهم ومن تبعهم بإحسان. Ibn Rajab said rahimahullah, من عرف منه أنه أراد برده على العلماء النصيحة. Whoever we know became clear to us that أنه أراد برده على العلماء, when he is making rad, when he is correcting the mistakes of the scholars, أراد به النصيحة لله. All what he wants is to make people to know what is correct inside the religion of Allah, وَلِرَسُولِهِ, and inside the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we know that this person, no, he's not abusing Al-Imam Al-Albani rahimahullah, he's not abusing Shaykh Abdul-Aziz ibn Abdullah ibn Baz, no, that's not the intention. أَرَادَ بِهِ النَّصِيحَةَ لِلَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. The intention is just to make things clear when he is mentioning the faults or the mistakes of the scholars. Ibn Rajab said rahimahullah, فَإِنَّهُ يَجِبُ أَن يُعَامَلَ بِالْإِكْرَامِ وَالِاحْتِرَامِ وَالتَّعْظِيمِ. This kind of a person that we have known his intention, what is compulsory is for us to relate with him bil-ikram, with honor, wal-ihtiram, and respect, wat-ta'zim, and esteem. We relate with him with honor, with respect, with what? At-ta'zim. Once someone, when I first gave back to my first child, the boy's name is Muhammad. But you know Al-Imam Al-Albani, his name is Muhammad too. Do you know that? What is his father's name? The name of the father of Al-Imam Al-Albani, what is it? Al-Imam Al-Albani, his father's name, what was it? Al-Amin. Muhammad, what is his father's name? My friend, you didn't come early. Give it to Muhammad. Al-Amin. Ajiboyeko. Al-Imam Al-Albani, his father's name was what? Nuh. So he is Muhammad ibn Man. Nuh. Muhammad bin Ali, come. That's your Albani. What is his name? You say Nasiruddin. His name is Muhammad. What's his father's name? Many people don't know. His father's name is Nuh. Qadi Nuh. He was a Qadi, like Chief Justice of Albania at the time. Some people are saying, who is the scholar of Shaykh of Albania? Babare Lafare. Albani kò láàfà bàbá rẹ̀ kọ́ di Chief Justice Mrs. Kekere Ekun, Justice Kekere Ekun ko. What is her name? Kudra. If her son comes tomorrow and says he knows law, what will you say? Say, oh, you should know law because your mother is Chief Justice. Even if that boy does not want to learn, when the father is teaching in the house, teaching students, there are some things that will be entering into his ears, whether he wants it or not. Or my father saba makeo. Could have you say makeo yoma. You say Shaykh Al-Albani, who is his teacher? Babare. Rahimahullah. He had a view that was difficult for us to accept because we see that evidences oppose that view. And that was his view on a woman's veiling the face. He held that it is not a compulsory thing for a woman. He wrote 2 books, Hijabul Mar'atil Muslima and what? Jilbabul Mar'atil Muslima. And a 3rd book, Ar-Raddul Mufhim. 3 books he wrote. Hijab, Jilbab, and Ar-Raddul Mufhim. These shabab we are talking about, they don't read books like this. So I don't think they even have time for books like this. They just know Albani, they don't know his knowledge. It's wrong to know a scholar, you don't know his knowledge. You don't know what he is standing upon. Oh, man. Okay, apart from those 15 minutes fatwa by Shaykh Fawzan, have you read any book by Shaykh Fawzan? Study any book by Shaykh Fawzan. They don't have time for those ones. It is those 15 seconds, 13 seconds, and now, after. That's the fatwa of Ibn Taymiyyah they are listening to. Shaykh Fawzan said that will not make you a scholar. Go. Look for a learned person and pay attention to time. Stay with a learned person over time. You will be learned. Not 15 seconds fatwa. So Imam Al-Albani, what I was going to say is that at that time he had a view on niqab. It was difficult for us to accept. For me, all these books, word for word, page by page, sentence by sentence, research based reason. Jilbab, I don't know up to not less than 10 times I read Jilbab al-Marathi. More than 10 times. More than 10 times. I still have that copy that time, photocopy. I still have it, the copy that time, I still have it. We have fine Sheikh's copy now. The one that after we started traveling to the Arab world, we buy fine copy of Jilbab. We put it in our bookshelf. We have those ones too. But the ones we read when we were younger like this, I still have it till today. You will see it, biro and pencil everywhere. So Imam Al-Albani, rahimahullah, he had that, but we had a different view. So when I had a child, I named the boy Muhammad. I named the boy Abu Abdur-Rahman, like the kunya of Al-Imam Al-Albani. But he became usually called Nāsir, because that is also another name, like an ascription for Al-Imam Al-Albani. He used to be called Nāsiruddin, even though he didn't used to like it. So one brother saw me one day. He said he heard that I had a baby. He said yes. He said, what did I name him? I said Muhammad. And that I used to call him Nāsiruddin to Muhammad Nāsir. He said, that man that says that Jilbab is not, niqab is not compulsory. Why are you naming your son after him? How do you think I should answer? So I told him, I said, I don't also believe that the position of that Imam is right on this issue. But I also learned that I don't believe that he was correct on one single issue, this one. Then it shouldn't cause enmity, make me hate him. I love him. In these scholars in our times, wallahi, I don't like any scholar like Al-Imam Al-Albani. We learned our own Salafiyah from him. There is hardly any of his books that I did not read, That's that. Silsilatul Sahiha, Silsilatul Daif. We read Sahih al-Jami al-Saghir, Adab al-Zifar, Sifatul Salat al-Nabi, Hajjatul Nabi, and many books by him, rahimahullah. So we love him so much. But in this mistake, we know the mistake. We know the mistake. This mas'ala, he was upon an error. He was inside the book. If I show you my copy, you see, I'll be writing, this place, this sheikh was wrong. He was supposed to say like this, like this. I think that one of the things that show that, wallahi, at that time, even when we do a lecture, if we are talking about veiling the face, people are afraid to ask us about Albani's position because they know that he's our sheikh and we love him. Rahimahullah. They are afraid because they don't know what they will hear from us. Okay, these people who love Albani, who are now saying that Albani was wrong. Hey, don't ask them. But we knew the problems in each of the books. In hijab, in jilbab, in Ar-Radd al-Mufhim. This one is a problem. This one is a mistake. This one is a mistake. So what we are saying is that sometimes you love a person, you like him, he's alim, you know he has views. This view is not correct. It doesn't bring any hatred. So one of the things that show that our intention, bi'idhnillah, not just me, myself, and the rest of the brothers who were together at the time, was that we never used to abuse him. We never used to say anything. In fact, we used to praise him. You even hardly think that we think that he has a view we don't accept. In fact, amongst ourselves, we have views that Al-Imam Al-Albani had. Some of us accepted the view, some of us don't accept. Like his view on Az-Zahab al-Muhallaq, that the woman should wear a golden ornament that is completely round. Some of us did not accept. Some of those first accepted. But it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a quarrel. It did not mean now that we begin to abuse the sheikh. Why? We don't accept this his view. No. No. Even in fact, for me, I suffered it with some of my teachers. They used to give me lashes on this issue of niqab. The two of them are from the serious lovers of Al-Imam Al-Albani. One really loved him, read his book. The other one was his student, rahimahullah. When they know my view that I don't believe that view of Al-Imam Al-Albani was correct, they used to lash me verbally, I mean. So, but that is how knowledge is. The student will take to what he is convinced about after reading all the evidence. But that time we didn't have the guts. If they didn't ask us, that what do you think about this mas'ala? We don't have the guts to start saying, Sheikh, you are wrong, this, that. Don't, as young people do today. Young people want to quickly show to their teachers what they don't accept from them. For us, at that time, the teachers will know one way or the other. We were not bold enough to come in their front and say we didn't accept. Not this, just on these masail. Even on some masail hadithiyah. Shahr ibn Hawshab, Al-Imam Al-Albani yuda'ifuhu mutlaqan. He's a scholar of hadith from amongst the Tibyān. Al-Imam Al-Albani considers him da'if. From day one, I used to believe that this position is a mistake. But we are not bold enough to come in front of our teacher and say, no, this is a mistake, this is that. Until the likes of Shaykh Muhammad ibn Adam al-Ethiopi began to discuss the issue, he said that Imam al-Albani was upon an error regarding the ruling on Shahr ibn Hawshab. Abdur-Rahman ibn An-Umi al-Ifriqi, Imam al-Albani believes that is da'if, mutlaq. But the position is the wrong position. And many others like that. Abdullah ibn Salih Katib al-Layth, Imam al-Albani believes that is a weak reporter of hadith. All these people, their reports are hasana. But those times, we'll just keep quiet. When our teacher said, that the teacher will say his view, what he is convinced about. We also know inside our mind what we are convinced about. So when it comes to a discussion, what do you think? Then you say what you think. You say what you believe. You prove it if the situation requires that you should prove. so that that one single mas'ala does not throw you away from the class. Today, young people don't have much wisdom. You differ with your sheikh on one single mas'ala, he throws you out of the class. You miss masail. Ibn Rajab said, rahimahullah, من عرف منه أنه أراد برده على العلماء النصيحة لله. If it becomes clear that when the talibul ilmi is making a rad upon the ulama, he is doing it nasihatan lillahi wa li rasulihi. He is doing it nasihatan lillahi wa rasulihi. He is just wanting to clarify the religion of Allah that the Prophet brought, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فإنه يجب أن يعامل بالإكرام. It is compulsory for such a person أن يعامل بالإكرام والاحترام والتعظيم. It is necessary to relate with him بالإكرام, with respect, والاحترام, and honor, والتعظيم, show him esteem, كَفَارِئِ أَئِمَّةِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, just like we do regarding other scholars of the people of Islam, الَّذِينَ سَبَقَ ذِكْرُهُمْ, those that we had just mentioned, the way Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal used to correct mistakes of the likes of Abu Thawr and others, وَأَمْثَالِهِمْ, and others like them, that when they made a mistake, when the elderly ones made mistakes, they correct. Abdullah ibn Abbas made mistakes, others corrected him. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, Abdullah ibn Umar, they were correcting. Ali ibn Abi Talib was correcting the mistakes of Abdullah ibn Abbas regarding the issue of mut'ah. Ibn Umar was even annoyed, was asking, how old were you that time when the Prophet was speaking? Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَمَنْ تَبِعَهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ, and others too who came later when a learned person makes a mistake, they mention the mistake nasihatan lillah. So when it becomes known to us that this young person is just correcting the mistake of the learned person, he does not intend insult, he does not intend abuse, he does not intend anything, just wants to say this position is wrong. Let me give us one example that just came to my mind now. When Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma explained that verse in Surah Al-Ahzab, yudnina alayhinna min jalabibihinna, ya ayyuhan nabiyyu kulli azwajika wa banatika wa nisa'il mu'minin yudnina alayhinna min jalabibihinna, dhalika adna an yu'rafna fala yu'zayn wa kana Allahu ghafuran rahim. This verse, Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, and tafsir al-sahabat hujjah. Tafsir al-sahaba is what? If a companion says, this verse, this is the meaning, you didn't find a hadith from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam explaining that verse, and you did not find any other companion explaining that verse differently, the scholars of usul, including Al-Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah, they say regarding this kind of a situation that tafsir al-sahabati kayf hujjah. The meaning is that don't contradict it. That's the meaning of the verse of the Quran. This verse, the clear-cut meaning regarding it came from Abdullah ibn Abbas, it came from Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, it came from Ali ibn Abi Talib. But as for the riwayah of Abdullah ibn Abbas, that is the clearest. It occurs in the books of tafsir like Tafsir al-Tabari and other books of tafsir with the isnad. This isnad, in it is the isnad of Ali ibn Abi Talhata and Abdullah ibn Abbas. Shabab, our brothers who like ilm al-hadith. Ali ibn Abi Talha and Ibn Abbas. Ali ibn Abi Talha was from the At-Tibyān. He did not meet Abdullah ibn Abbas, but he got a book of tafsir from Mujahid ibn Jabrin al-Makki, who was from the students of Abdullah ibn Abbas. So Ali ibn Abi Talha took tafsir from Mujahid ibn Jabr. It was clear that he was from his student. And Mujahid was from the students of who? Abdullah ibn Abbas. Al-Imam al-Albani in Jilbab al-Mar'at al-Muslima, when he spoke about this asad, this isnad, he says Wakila, he said Bayna, he said Ali ibn Abi Talha and Ibn Abbas munqati, or that he said mursal. If he said mursal could mean munqati. Munqati could also mean what? Mursal. He either used any one of the two words. Either he said mursal or what? Munqati. He said Ali ibn Abi Talha and Abdullah ibn Abbas munqati. That this isnad has a broken chain between Ali ibn Abi Talha and Abdullah ibn Abbas. He says Wakila. Some people said Baynahuma Mujahidun. Between Ali ibn Abi Talha and Abdullah ibn Abbas, there's who? Mujahid. He left it like that, he continued. Many of those who don't accept this view that niqab is wajib, they quote that statement that Al-Imam al-Albani said that isnad is weak, because it's a big evidence for us. What did Ibn Abbas say before we even started talking about isnad? He says, Amar Allahu nisa al-mu'minin. Allah commanded the Muslim women, إِذَا خَرَجْنَ مِن بُيُوتِهِنَّ لِحَاجَاتِهِنَّ, when they go out of their homes for their needs, that each of them should cover her face. In some riwayat say, وَيُبْدِي عَيْنًا وَاحِدًا, she should open just one eye. Bil Jalabib, she should use her jilbab, cover everything including her face, ala wajhiha. Ibn Abbas said that is the meaning of yudnina alayhinna min jalabib. So Imam al-Albani said that is munqati. He says wakila baynahuma mujahid, that between Ali ibn Abi Talha and Abdullah ibn Abbas was mujahid. It's not matter of kila. The meaning of kila is siga to tamri, to say they said 1 week pay. Some people said that it is an established fact from those who said it was Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Al-Imam al-Tabari, Imam al-Bukhari. They all say that Mujahid ibn Jabal took tafsir from Abdullah ibn Abbas, and Ali ibn Abi Talha took that tafsir from him. In fact, Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal used to tell the people to go and learn that sahifa, the sahifa of Ali ibn Abi Talha that he reported from Abdullah ibn Abbas through who? Mujahid ibn Jabal. Al-Imam al-Mizzi said that Jamaluddin al-Mizzi in Tahzib al-Kamal. Many scholars said this. But Al-Imam al-Albani said Kila, as if it's not something that is reliable. Al-Imam Ibn Hibban said it. Ikhwa, I'm telling us something we were busy with in 2003, 2004. We spent nights trying to find out these matters. So at that time, we just wanted to know what is correct. What is the truth regarding the matter? That was all our concern. So Imam al-Albani, yes, we love him. So when we began to explain that view is wrong, we know the evidence. We knew that it was wrong. All our intention is just to say that this thing is wrong. We don't have any problem with Al-Imam al-Albani rahimahullah. He remains min ahabbin nasi ilayna, from the most beloved of the people to us. Al-Imam Abu Abdur-Rahman Muhammad Nāsir al-Albani rahimahullah, from the biggest scholars in our times, if not the biggest till today. We don't have in this ummah anyone whose level of scholarship has gotten to his own. Because we have finished the paragraph and time has gone. I met one of the scholars in Mecca, Shaykh Mashhur Hassan al-Salman. We were in a restaurant, myself and him alone. We were together in his hotel, we were discussing some matters, and he said, Abu Nāsir, let's go and eat in the restaurant. So we came down. We came down to the restaurant of the hotel. So while we discussed and took some tea and bread, nice meal, I asked him, Shaykh, who amongst you the students of Al-Imam al-Albani, who amongst you has reached him in knowledge? There was nobody there. You know why I can ask that question when there was nobody there? so that he can tell me. Because he also said some other things to me on that day, in that sitting, that he would not say to the rest of the people. That's part of knowledge too. Like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told Muaz. When Muaz told him, Afala ubashirun nas, what did he say? He said, no, don't tell people. So scholars have what they will tell some people, they will not tell everybody. So I asked him, who amongst you, his students, has reached him? Rahimahullah, he said, An-Naseehah. He says, if you gather all of us and gather all our knowledge, I don't even think it has reached that one of our Shaykh. Don't count us one by one. Count all of us put together. We have not reached Shaykh's knowledge. He said the problem was that the more you tried to find out how much he knew, the more you found out that you have not even reached anywhere. Rahimahullah. So Imam al-Albani was very, very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable. Was upon the Sunnah. He spoke to everybody. He gave everybody the Naseehah that his circumstance required without fearing anybody. He gave everybody Naseehah. And he avoided what was necessary for him to avoid. If you read his books, you will know him more. I hope that young people will pay attention to reading the books of this Imam, Abu Abdur-Rahman, rahimahullah. And yes, he had issues with scholars regarding Masail. But go back, pick those Masail one after the other. Even if you will say that he was wrong in one or two or three or some of them, you will know that he was still speaking based upon knowledge. Rahimahullah. I will stop here, inshallah. I hope that we can continue properly from the chapter we have just opened in our next class, inshallah. Now. Who has a question? Time has gone. Right. I hope that we can continue from here in our subsequent classes. These kinds of questions we've been answering them was why I did not pay attention to them. Okay. Alaykum salam. What's the Sharia ruling on I don't understand the question. On what? Custom duties. Where is democracy? So where the rule of government is democracy, the Sharia is not applicable. Everything that was haram becomes halal because it is democracy, is it? I'm asking you first. So if the rule of law is democracy, the custom duties will be allowed, is it? That is irrespective of what the rule of the people is. Irrespective of what the rule of the people is. Well, asking the people to pay dues that Allah has not asked them to pay on their goods, on their properties, is basically unlawful. The same thing applies to a lot of tax people now come up with. And it is from the aspects of Al-Kabair, major sins. Imām al-Zahabi has mentioned it in Kitab al-Kabair. From the major sins is that the people are asked to bring over their goods. Allah mentioned that regarding Qawmul Lut. From the things that Qawmul Lut did was they were taxing the people over their goods and property. But that a company helped you carry some property from London to Nigeria. There is no blame in that. They say, pay us this money. There is no blame in that. A company helps you bring books from Saudi Arabia to Nigeria. Pay us for helping you to bring the books. There's no wrong in that. A country can also say, we don't want you to bring something from so-so place because of so-so reasons. The land of Islam can say, we want all of us, because we are at war with non-Muslims. We want to cripple their economy. The government of Islam can say, we will not buy banana from them again. If all they sell is banana, everybody must comply. Governments have the right to do things like that. To say, don't do this, don't do, yes, we didn't say don't buy banana. But if you buy banana, buy from elsewhere. As for these people, we are at war with them. The government of Islam can say that. They have that kind of an authority because they are at war with non-Muslims, for example. So they can do that. Or that someone brings the property for you, you pay for the service. But that if I buy a sheet of paper for 1 naira, I will have to pay 1 naira 10 kobo, and that 10 kobo goes to the government as a tax. This is not lawful. It's not lawful too for them to bill me for buying something. It's not lawful. Allahu Alam. You quoted a hadith about a man giving his daughter to a man who is pleased with the deen so as to not to cause fitna. The sources I find were weak. Is there any source that is authentic? The hadith is authentic. I mentioned it where I said it, that hadith is from the hadith of Abu Huraira, from the hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar, and that hadith yakbalu tahsin. From those who mentioned the hadith to be Hasan is Al-Imām Al-Albani rahimahullah. I have also done a personal study of the hadith. The view of those who say that the hadith is Hasan is what is Hasan. Allahu Alam. Now, alaykum salam. From those who graded that hadith Hasan, if I recall, is Al-Imām Al-Shawkani. You can go back to Nail Al-Awtar. From that was a Shaykh from the people of hadith, well grounded, a Shaykh Abu Ishaq Al-Huwaini. He also graded the hadith Hasan long ago in his book Al-Inshirah. There are many scholars who graded it Hasan, and the hadith is truly Hasan. Allahu Akbar. Now, I can't hear what you are saying. Speak up. From the aspects of knowledge is to raise your voice with knowledge. One of your friends, he wants to start selling what? Rat. Rice. From what? You have to buy bribe. If government say don't bring it, don't bring it. The one who finds it and buys it, he goes in the market and sees rice and buys the rice. He has no problem. Unless he is sure that those people who brought it stole it or brought it in unlawfully. If he knows this person, the job that he is doing is to go and get it, bring it unlawfully. He knows that person. It is not lawful for him to buy from him because he is encouraging him upon that disobedience to constituted authority. But if he just goes to the market, he sees the rice. This is the rice that I want, and he bought it, there is no blame. Is this clear now? Because there are people bringing in the rice from the means that government allows. There is no blanket ban of rice importation, to my knowledge. Is there a blanket ban? There are people still bringing it in lawfully. So that's why the man can go to the market and see and buy it. He doesn't need to start asking the person selling it, this your rice, is it from Cotonou or from Apapa Wharf, don't ask him that question. But if you know that one person brings it from Kutonu through Fayawa, don't buy it from that person. Is this clear now? I think we can call it a day today. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.